Hi, welcome. Tonight is a meditation on abundance. And I tried to think of what can we do that'll give us the most bang for our buck for 20 minutes. And here's what I came up with for the meditation tonight. We're going to do a meditation and a clean out on our abundance meter and or gauge, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like doing the havingness gauge, only we're going to call it an abundance gauge. And we will ground that and clean that out and then fill that in with some goodies. So that's what we're going to do in our 20-minute meditation tonight. All right. Let's go ahead and just get started. All right. Close your eyes and bring your awareness right to the center of your head. And go ahead and put a brand new grounding cord down. Create that line of energy that connects you from the base of your spine all the way down through to the very center of the planet. And you want to tie that end at the center of the planet firmly to something down there, like a rock. And then anchor it firmly to your first chakra at the base of your spine. And let gravity start to work with you to help gently pull foreign energy out of your body. And let's go ahead and start to release the energies of the day today. Think of all the people that you talked to, whether it was in person or on the phone or text or emails. And go ahead and start to let go of all of those conversations and the energy of those conversations. And if your attention is on anything from work today, or if you were in school, see if you can start to collect your thoughts back. Call your awareness right back to the center of your head. And release any responsibilities that may have built up during the day. And you can also take a moment to release other people's energy. You might start with the people that you were around today. See if you can recognize their energy in your aura, say hello to it, and let that grounding cord start to pull that energy out. And then also look around your aura for the energy of effort and hard work. And I would acknowledge that you have some of that maybe in your aura, and also start to send that down your grounding cord. One of the things that we learn when we do energy work is that best creating that you can do is spontaneous creating. So the less effort you put into your creations, the faster they come back to you. So let's go ahead and say hello to any effort or hardship in the aura tonight and start to release that. And hardship is kind of a heavy, darker energy. Might take you a little bit longer to move that out than other energies. Good. Let's go ahead and create a great big gold sun above your head and start to call your energy back from the week. Direct it into that gold sun. Let that sun absorb as much of your energy as you can call back. And then go ahead and bring that sun right in through the top of your head. Let that sun bleed through your whole aura and fill up your entire body. And you can let the excess gold go down your grounding cord. Okay, we're going to do some visualization now. So if you want to go ahead and, with your eyes closed, look out on your big white movie screen in front of you. And what we're going to do is create the image of a gauge. And that could be either like a clock with a dial, or a half clock with a dial, or a thermometer gauge, something that will register from 0% to 100%, however you want to visualize that gauge. And we're going to postulate that this gauge is our abundance gauge, so that when you look at it and it fills up with energy, the energy that's going to go into this gauge is your energy of abundance. And we're going to go ahead and clean it out. So go ahead and create this gauge out on your movie screen. Let the energy of your abundance go into this gauge and put a grounding cord on it and ground it to the center of the planet. And that grounding cord is separate from your own grounding cord. Now, the reason I want you to have it read as a gauge is I want you to see, out of 100% right now, how much of your abundance information are you owning? And you'll be able to read that in the gauge. So let yourself see how much of your abundance are you actually able to access and utilize right now. And I would just let that information come to you without judging it. It's important to let yourself see exactly where you're at in order to be able to make changes. Once you see the percentage of what you're owning it, now we're going to go ahead and ground this gauge and start to clean the energy out of it. And you can start by looking for a brighter color in the gauge. If you see darker, heavier colors, or even if you get a sense of darker, heavier colors, that's fine too. Go ahead and send those colors down the grounding cord. You might not always see these energies. Sometimes you might get a sense of them, or sometimes you might actually hear the energy. That's clairaudience. So however you get your information, it's good. So as you ground this gauge, one of the first energies I'd like you to look for and start to ground out of it is the energy of other people's competition. And as you ground out other people's competition, you may very well find that there might be family members in there, even friends. And what you want to do is try to be as neutral as you can when you find them in there, and say hello to them and usher their energy down the grounding cord. And also say hello to the energy of being told no. No, you can't have this. No, you can't do that. Other people's directives to you to not create what you want to create. Go ahead and let all of that energy release. And also in this abundance gauge, I would say hello to other people who feel that when you are abundant, they also get to be abundant. But this is the energy of people that you're unaware of. Ultimately, you want to be the one choosing who you want to be abundant with. So I would look for people in here who might have healing agreements with you that you're unaware of, and say hello to their energy and see if you can't release them down the grounding cord. And if you have told anyone that you would share your abundance with them, now is a good time to take a look in this gauge and see if you recognize them. And if you're still in agreement to that, great. If you're not, go ahead and bring those agreements into present time and you can let go of them. There's some really nice gold coming into your gauges. You might say hello to a gold sun and start to replenish the gauge. And then I would also say hello to the energy of effort and hard work coming out of your gauge. I would clear that energy. As you're clearing the gauge, look to see if you can see a color that represents your true information on abundance. That's what we're looking for. So as you ground foreign energy, you want to be clearing the colors that are darker, heavier, and looking for that lighter, brighter color. Good. All right. Now what we're going to do is start filling the gauge up. And I want you to think of the kinds of things that you would like to have abundance with and put pictures in the gauge. For instance, I'm just going to give an example. Let's say I would like abundant gifts. I'm going to put a picture of gifts in my gauge and start to fill it up with the kind of gifts that I would like to have. So that's what I want you to do now, is start visualizing the goodies that you would like to be abundant with and fill that gauge in. And as you fill that gauge in, we're going to take the marker that shows what percentage you're owning your abundance at, and you're going to take it like with your thumb and your forefinger and move it up. Try to move it up as high as you can. And create a gold sun. Fill the gauge in with gold. Let's take a moment and make sure that that gauge holds at that higher energy. If your gauge looks like it needs to be grounded a little bit more, go ahead and say hello to that grounding and clear any other energy that's not bright and part of your own true abundance information. Okay, let's bring in one more gold sun. And as you do, I want you to take a look at the color in the gauge and try to remember what color that is. And after you fill in the gauge, we're going to go ahead and put the gauge in a symbol of either a clear bubble or a rose and blow it up. We want to disperse all of that. And then what I want you to do is create that same color that you saw for your abundance. And we're going to run that color in our crown chakras in a clockwise motion. So right up on top of your head, imagine painting that same color in a clockwise motion on top of your head. And we'll do what's called run this color in your crown chakra. What that does is it starts to reset the tone of your crown chakra to abundance. And that will filter on down through all your other chakras. And as you're running this abundance in your crown, I'd like you to think of how abundant you would like to be with love. And visualize bringing in abundant love. And I'd like you to imagine abundant money. As you run your abundance in your crown, what does having abundant money look like to you? And as you run your abundance in your crown, think of having abundant answers on your path. And think of one thing that you would like to have right now in present time in the form of, let's say, a mock-up, something that you don't have yet that you might like to have. And let's go ahead and put it in the symbol of a rose. You can put that thought, that postulate in a rose. And then we're going to fill that rose up with the color of your abundance. You can put a grounding cord on that rose while you fill it in with abundance, so that if there's any energy in the rose that's not in agreement with being abundant, it can go down the grounding cord. And then once you have that grounded, go ahead and bring a great big gold sun into the rose, fill it up with gold. And you can do two things. You could blow up the rose and just disperse it, or you could call your energy out of it, cut the stem of the rose and send it off to the center of the universe. And when you're done, you can go ahead and create a great big gold sun above your head and call back your abundant energy, wherever that may be. Collect it up in that gold sun above your head. And when that sun is big and full, go ahead and bring it in through the top of your head. Fill up all of your aura. Let that abundance come through your whole body. All the way down to your toes. You can let the gold go down your grounding cord. And when you're all filled up, you can open your eyes and come on out of trance. And thank you for joining me tonight. All right? I got my eyes on you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.